Hey, traveler. Paimon.
Oh, Paimon knows that voice!
Over here. To borrow one of the more popular turns of phrase at the moment, this appears to be quite the fated reunion. Running into you two out of the blue like this has really made my day.
You can say that again. What brings you to Poisson? Wait, Paimon's got it! You must be here for it.
Actually, we've run into a bit of trouble on the home front, so Father arranged for us to stay in Poisson for the time being.
Oh, are Lynette and Fremine here
Yep, along with most of the other members of the House of the Hearth. You may have noticed Poisson seems a bit more crowded than usual.
So you're saying nearly the entire organization has moved to Poisson?
Not
well...
exactly. Sure.
Since the two of you are so curious, perhaps I can fill in the gaps.
You scared Paimon half to death!
Oh.
Father, you're here.
I don't. That would be my reaction, to be
On
honest.
second thought, maybe we...
No need to be nervous. I could sense your genuine concern from your conversation just now. Of course, I can also understand your confusion. Sending so many Fatui here to Poisson, it's only natural that some might suspect an ulterior motive to be involved. I understand. I'm well aware you've had your fair share of confrontations with the Fatui in the past, and I can't exactly guarantee that we'll remain on good terms in the future. As for right now, however, I would say we have little reason to be at odds, wouldn't you agree? The House of the Hearth could stand to be more open with those who have worked so closely with us in the past. As for the issue at hand, well, it hardly relates to any ulterior motive. To be frank, it all stems from a certain rumor circulating around the House of the Hearth. It's an internal matter.
What sort of...
A rumor that a certain phantom child is hiding away in the House of the Hearth.
A phantom child?
A spirit that should have long ceased to exist is lurking in the shadows of the House of the Hearth. So I decided to bring the children to Poisson before continuing to investigate the situation. I expect I should be able to track down the spirit fairly quickly. After that, it's just a matter of resolving the situation, if you will. It shouldn't be much trouble at all. If you're curious, or if you still have some concerns, it might be advisable to stick around for a few days. I'm sure the children would be exceedingly pleased to welcome some visitors. Lenny, I'll leave you to entertain our guests. I have some matters to attend to.
Of course, Father. It has long been a dream of mine to invite you to our home and introduce you to my other siblings. You're quite well known in the organization already. A lot of people have been talking about you, especially after everything with the prophecy. If you're willing, why don't you stay a while and have a little chat with us?
Alright. We don't have anything else to do right now anyway. But let's be clear, we're just gonna be there as guests, okay? Don't get any funny... Oh, wait a second.
Of course. During our stay in Poisson, we've been helping out the locals with some fishing. We bring in quite the bounty every day. In fact, today's the perfect chance for me to show you what I can do in the kitchen. Let's go. I'll take you to where we're staying. Useless. We rented this house from one of the locals to use as a temporary base. I'll come back later and tidy up a bit.
awesome! Thanks!
Well, when I happened to run into you two earlier, I was actually in the middle of distributing some supplies. With this many people staying in Poisson, we have to bring in outside supplies every now and then. I should probably make sure the rest of these provisions get delivered.
Okay, look, there are all sorts of rumors about your organization floating around out there. Paimon's not sure if she can... But now that we finally have the chance to see a day in the life of the house...
Well, you're more than welcome to come along. Just...
Linny! You're finally here. The supplies. I'm assuming you've...
Brought them with me? Yep. Hello?
It's the Traveler and Paimon!
No way! Come here, everyone! Hurry! The Traveler and Paimon are here!
One at a time, please. Don't crowd around them all at once.
Oh, it's all right! Gotta say, Paimon didn't realize we were this famous.
Of course! Father and Linny have told us so much about you.
Father told us about how you helped Linny. According to her, you're a trustworthy friend. And as far as she's concerned, that's pretty much the highest compliment we've ever heard her give.
I heard the Traveler is so strong that she can move a mountain with her bare hands.
I heard Paimon eats so much that she can clean out the entire pantry at Hotel Tabor in just 3 days! Wait a second! That's the rumor you heard about Paimon?
Oh, wait! When guests visit, you're supposed to give them gifts and stuff, right?
Oh, we don't need something like that. Besides, we don't have anything to give to you. Come on, we insist. I can give you some of my new potions. Just pick your poison. And by that, I mean medicine or actual poison. Huh?
Or maybe Shaplo can teach you guys about stealth! He's super good-
Ah, now that's not a bad idea. I know you usually prefer to fight head-on, but it never hurts to expand your bag of tricks, right? When it comes to eliminating your enemies, staying quiet can go a long way. Trust me, I would know. I was poisoned not too long ago, and I'm still dealing with the after effects. So I'm not quite as good as I was before, but I can still give you some pointers.
Wait, when you said gift, Paimon didn't think you meant poison, and...
But those are the best things we can give you. You don't like them? Ooh, how about this? Tell me the name of someone who really annoys you, and we'll teach him a lesson for you.
All right, Fold, Selwar. I think that's enough suggestions for now. When it comes to being a good host, it's the thought that counts. You don't need a physical gift to make our guests happy. In fact, pestering them with suggestion after suggestion might make them more annoyed than anything. I would say your enthusiasm has certainly gotten across.
Really? Awesome! It's been so...
Yeah, it's...
Well,
All right, see you later.
Bye!
Linny, about all that poison...
Scared you, did it? That kind of talk comes with being part of the House of the Hearth. When Foltz was really young, he strangled all of his family pets, just out of curiosity. He was labeled a dangerous problem child and was abandoned by his family. Elwar has an unnatural obsession with potions. Father has forbidden her from trying all the different concoctions she comes up with, but she still tries to test them in secret. You really have to keep an eye on that one. Chaplot is around my age. Well, I'm mainly... He handles surveillance. He's very passionate about his work and has no reservations about taking on some very difficult missions. I know you two probably aren't used to that kind of talk, but I can promise you they only had the best of intentions. Things like stealth tactics and developing different poisons. Filiol, supplies are here.
Thanks. And who are these?
Allow me to introduce you.
Oh, you're the famous duo I've been hearing so much. It's nice to meet you. I heard you've traveled to all sorts of places. Is that true?
Of course! We're making our way up.
Oh, good for you.
You must be pretty familiar with Fontaine by now, then. Have you seen the new opera that started running recently? I think it's called...
Oh, this is the first we've heard.
It seems like it's going to be fantastic. From what I've been able to tell from...
Oh, and there's The Blind Maiden, too. That one is... After this mission is over, I think I'll go get a manicure.
Oh, maybe I should dye my hair?
Is it just Paimon, or do these two seem much easier?
I heard that.
Oh!
I'm guessing you're referring to Foltz and the others? Yeah, we're definitely not all like them.
I bet those crazies are practically foaming at the mouth right now. I'm sure they just can't wait to get back to Snezhnaya to carry out the plan.
That's enough, Phil.
Don't talk about family members behind their back, right?
Guess this is goodbye then.
Well, that's it for the supplies.
Well, they didn't seem too happy with each other. You're right. Oh, Winnie's getting...
So, what do you think? Well, Father is always encouraging us to be strong-willed and independent. So if there's one thing we've got, it's people who aren't afraid to speak their mind. Well, I should probably get cooking. Wanna join?
Of course!
Then let's head out and... Huh? Fremine? What are you doing here?
Well...
Fremine! Nice to see you again!
Oh, you too.
We were just going to make some food. Why don't you come along? I could use some help in the kitchen, and I seem to remember you mentioning you wanted to make seafood soup for the traveler in Paimon.
Seafood soup? Oh, Paimon is drooling already.
Were you looking for something just now, Fremine?
It's nothing. I just wanted to see if there were any extra supplies.
Yeah, we've got some left over. What do you need?
Some food and water. And...
No problem. Give me a second here. Food, water...
Hi.
Wait a minute. What do you need all of those for?
He
You're not
just
on any
noticed.
missions as far as I'm aware. And you were just going to come eat with us. So what's this all about?
I thought I'd grab an extra portion because I get hungry at night. Could be because I'm growing, you know? And...
Fremine, you remember what I told you? You're not like me. You're... Tell me what's going on. Is it really bad enough?
Maybe it'll be better.
This is the first time I've seen that kind of look on your face. Whatever happened, does it have something to do with Father?
Yeah.
Yes. Just follow me.
Be quiet. Yeah. I did not mean to do that.
You're back! Oh, and you've brought some friends with you!
Hello, my name's Linny. I grew up in the House of the Hearth.
Hi, Linny. I'm also a child of the House of the Hearth. Just like you. You can call me Clairvy.
Clairvy?
It's nice to meet you. Does that name ring any...
No, not at all. That's not a name we have on our roster, I'm sure of it. What I'm not sure of, though, is how she managed to sneak in. She must be the phantom child Father's been searching for. From the looks of it, I'm guessing you were the one that found her, Fremine.
No, I haven't told anyone. I've just been keeping her hidden.
For how long?
About half a month now.
So ever since we got to Poisson, then, do you have any idea what you're doing?
I know what I'm doing.
Really? 'Cause from where I'm standing, it looks like you're hiding the very person Father has been trying to find. If Father finds out about this, everyone involved is going to be punished.
Ooh.
You know the rules of the house, Fremine. I know.
I've thought it through. And I just can't hand her over like that. Linny, don't you remember last year? Sheplo nearly died after getting poisoned during that one mission. He wasn't able to get back before the poison started taking effect. That night, while I was sleeping, I heard a voice telling me to go save him. I opened my eyes, but I couldn't find the source of the voice. That feeling of being...
So what you're saying is, that was her?
Unless there are other spirits roaming around the House of the Hearth, I don't think there's any other possibility. If Clairvy were our enemy, it wouldn't matter whether she was a spirit or an actual child. I would have acted without a second thought, because that's what Father or... But she's been living with us, helping us from the shadows all... I couldn't just hand her over to be dealt with.
So what's your plan then? You can't keep her here forever.
I haven't thought that far yet.
Come with me. There are a couple things I'd like to say to you in
Well, this ought to be interesting.
Those two sure care a lot about each other. Well, they got a funny way of showing it. From where Paimon was floating, it sure seemed... No way! They have a really deep bond. I could tell right away, 'cause I also have a friend like that. I just don't know how long that kind of bond can last. The darkness in the house runs deeper than you can imagine. No one can get out alive.
I'm sorry, Linny. I really didn't mean to drag anyone else into this.
Oh, really? You didn't mean to? 'Cause I, for one, wish you did.
Huh?
You know, when we were younger, you didn't call me Linny. You called... We grew up together, the three of us. We were all orphans, all rescued by Father. Later on, when you started calling me Linny, I wasn't actually surprised. After all, Lynette and I are related by...
Linny,
The darkest and most difficult moments of my life happened before you and I had ever met. I'm sure that's true for you as well. You and Lynette are the most important people in my life. No one can replace you.
Oh, looks like things are getting kinda heated between... Oh, it's raining. I should put my clothes away. Hey, you two! Hope we aren't interrupting any... Oh, wait a minute, Fremine!
everything's fine.
Well, we're all friends here, right?
It's just a small family dispute. It's not some...
What are you getting at, Traveler?
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior. And any disputes are less likely to I just... Thank you. I was really hoping to keep you out of it. But even if I could think of some other reason to turn you away, I'm not sure I could convince you. I know things could turn dangerous, so I promise you this. From now on, I'll protect you like my life depends on it.
Me too.
Well, back to the matter at hand then. If we don't plan on handing Clairvy over to Father, then our only other option is to solve the mystery of her identity before Father is able to track her down. That means finding out where she came from and what she's doing here. Then we can send her on her merry way and pretend like none of this ever happened.
I've tried that already.
And?
And... nothing. I tried taking her somewhere really far away, but... after some time, she just reappeared. She even came with us all the way to Poisson. It seems like wherever the house is, she follows.
I don't know much about spirits.
Let's see here. Paimon remembers hearing something like, if you fulfill a spirit's last wish before they die, they'll let go of whatever's keeping them here and return to the ley lines. Oh, it's just that Paimon doesn't really remember where she heard that, so...
Well, sounds like it's worth a shot. Guess that means we should go ask her about her wish.
What is it?
I need you to promise me that this will stay between the two of us. We're the masterminds behind this whole thing.
Of course.
All right. Then let's seal the promise just like when we were kids. Fist bump on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I swear.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Lynette!
But what a surprise! What brings you here, dear sister? And, when exactly did you get here?
You're an idiot, brother. And you too, Fremine. You 3, Traveler. And you 4, Paimon.
Can't get away with anything.
Wait, what did we do?
I'm sorry.
I've seen Clairvy around the House of the Hearth before. I hadn't seen her in Poisson, so I figured she must not have come with us. But it turns out, you were just hiding her. I heard you talking about your plan. Rather than steering... If you don't agree, I'll have no...
You're not? Well, I guess we're all in this together then. After we talk to Clairvy, we'll figure out our next move.
You know,
There's no time to loot.
probably. That's all I can say.
I'm full. She said she's full, but the food doesn't look...
That's right. Still, when she's presented with food, she'll always linger around it for a good little while.
Does she know that she has already passed away?
I've tried to ask her, but she didn't answer. My guess is that she's just as confused as we are. Or... maybe she couldn't understand.
Clairvy, if you've got some time...
Sure. Oh, another new friend.
Hello.
Clairvy, how did you join the House of the Hearth?
Huh? Isn't it the saint the knave brings you here and then you...
It's just that... your name... it's not...
The roster? Oh, I get it now. The people in charge. They're not as nice as they in this house. Some people are family, and other people are just test subjects. Wait, does that mean...
Is there anyone that can vouch for you?
Perry. She's my best friend. She's the only one I trust in this place.
Have either of you heard of that name before?
No.
Me neither.
Clairvy. Perry. Neither, but it seems like she's telling the truth. Either that, or this kid's already got a bag of tricks bigger than mine. Maybe we should try a different approach.
A wish?
It can be anything you want. Just imagine. It's your birthday, you're blowing out the candles.
To where the sun can find... That's it? Well, that sounds
Sounds
enough.
nice.
The darkness in the house...
Okay, time to divide and conquer. Listen, I'll try and find a way to use basic illusory magic to take Clairvy outside and bring her somewhere with sunlight. Lynette, try and find the list of executions that Clairvy was talking about. And Fremine, you stay in Poisson. We can't be the only ones who've had run-ins with Clairvy. I need you...
Understood.
I'll try my best.
What about us?
I really appreciate your willingness to help, but this is a family matter. Let me think. Since Father considers you to be guests, maybe you could stick by her side for a little while. You don't need to do anything except keep up some nice, casual conversation.
Ah, Paimon gets it.
I'll give you a magic bird. If Father suspects something, all you need to do is release it when she's not looking, and it'll alert me that something's wrong. Of course, that's
cool.
only as a last resort. If the worst-case scenario happens and we're discovered, you too. I really hope this goes well. No.
Useless.
It's the knave. And... child! Hey, aren't you supposed to be in...
Oh, it's you two. I didn't expect to run into you here. I was unconscious for quite a while after the fight in the Primordial Sea. After I woke up, I realized I was being taken back to Snezhnaya. I couldn't have that now, could I? Not when I've still got unfinished business here in Fontaine. So, I mustered up all my strength and made the journey back on my own.
What sort of unfinished business are we talking?
It has to do with Skirk, my master. I really wanted to meet up with her, but by the time I got back, she had already left. I still have so many questions for her. Without any other leads, all I could do was ask the knave to help me track her down. She must have left behind some traces from her time in Fontaine.
Oh, okay, so...
Unfortunately, no. While the House of the Hearth is adept at collecting all manner of intelligence...
Basically, unless Master feels there's a need to meet with me, she's not going to be found. But that problem has an easy fix. I just need to become stronger, and then...
Paimon thinks you should focus on getting better.
The worst of it is over. It's all thanks to that one kid from the House of the Hearth. Elwar, I think her name was. She gave me a bunch of random potions to drink. They didn't go down easy, let me tell you. Pain and chills all over. And that's good, because it looks like I really do have to head back this time. The old man's been putting the pressure on me. He sent someone to tell me I'm needed for some sort of project.
Project Stuja?
Yeah, that's the one. I heard Regrader's involved too. I'm not looking forward to having to listen to all his monologuing, that's for sure. Hey, Maybe you could think of a way for me to stay in Fontaine for a little longer. Helping Linny and the others brush up on their fighting skills would be far more interesting. If you—
And what a sweet little daydream that is. But I also have a role to play in all this. I'll be leaving Fontaine shortly as well. Besides, considering how little they see fit to step outside the homeland, being called on to return to Snezhnaya by such illustrious dignitaries, what a great honor.
One I could do without, I'd say.
Is it just Paimon? Or does it kind of seem like they're...
So, dear guests of the House of the Hearth, to what do I owe the visit?
Right!
Is that so?
Good question. I'd also like to know.
The fact that you have to ask tells me our intelligence work has been quite successful. Telling you the answer to that question would only serve to undermine that success. And we can't have that. No.
Spoken like a true diplomat. That was some expert sidestepping right there.
Well, if there's nothing else, I think I'll take my leave. I still have a small matter to resolve at home.
Wait, don't go!
I'd also like to hear the answer to... I've met some of the members of your organization, and they all seemed like really good kids. They actually reminded me of Tonya and Tusser, which, by the way, if you ever betray them, I'm just letting you know, I won't let you off easy.
And why would I betray them?
Well, you've already betrayed the House of the Hearth once, haven't you? At least, that's what I heard. Okay, I admit. That's just what the old man told me. The rooster, I mean.
Wait, did you really do something bad?
Never mind what I've done. I'm more curious as to what the...
Well, nothing much. Just some stuff about...
I see.
Based on...
Hardly. Although, it would be... Call yourself a Fontainian, for example, and people will assume also...
Huh? You're not actually from Fontaine?
I was trying to protect the children born. People would hardly suspect the primordial sea wouldn't have any effect on me, but it would have caused great harm to the House of the Hearth.
So, you stayed in Fontaine for the kids. I guess I was wrong to believe you'd betray them. Apologies.
Good. Like I said.
Actually, while I was recuperating at the House of the Hearth, there was something else that really caught my... I heard that members always resolve disputes and arguments with a friendly spar, and the loser has to back down. Seems pretty cool if you ask me. Would also give them plenty of opportunities to hone their skill.
Well, that's only a recent development. In the past, such spars weren't nearly so... friendly.
They were that high stakes?
Well, the current atmosphere's not half bad. I'm a bit jealous, actually. You've got so many family members around you, and you even get to live with them.
Having a lot of family around means dealing with a considerable amount of bickering and scheming. Once Tonya and Tusser enter their rebellious phase, I'm sure you'll understand. Just imagine. Tusser becomes obsessed with plucking out strands from the rooster's mustache, or Tonya decides to dye her hair 42 different colors.
Wow.
Okay. I get the picture. Well, would you look at the time? I should probably get going.
Fall asleep. Sure right now. I see.
Traveler, Paimon?
I think you should go to bed.
We can have when you look
if you're that tired.
Like you're gonna keel over.
All right.
No thanks necessary.
I like the sound.
We should probably get going too.
Oh? You want...
Oh,
I'm rather enjoying the evening breeze. Apologies for not attending.
We managed to keep her distracted until nightfall.
Yep.
Good thing Child
See
was
ya.
there to keep the conversation going. You don't think she suspected anything, do you? Oh, I wonder if Liddy ran into any issues. Let's hurry back and see how everything went.
Alright.
Liddy, how did everything go?
Well, long story short, we ran into a small issue. Clairvy can't... Everything was fine at first. She followed me up to the surface. But as I led her out of the shadows and into the sunlight, she vanished. I turned around and there she was, standing at the edge of the shadows, silently watching me.
Huh. Maybe she's afraid of sunlight, or... Well, oh, true.
I've pretty much tried it all already. Nothing worked. Eventually, the sun went down, so all I could do was bring her back here. How
Good. I've got the list.
Really? Well, what do we... Oh, that's a lot of pages. Oh, it's gonna take forever to get through it all.
We can each take a section. Here.
La Pouillade, l'endroit, Jean... Oh, yikes. That Aurore guy has a huge scar?
I've met him before.
Did he say anything?
Well, I asked if there was someone he was interested in. It was only later that I learned he really did have someone he liked.
Wait, so that means...
It may seem cruel, but it's just one of the rules of the... Betrayal is not to be taken lightly. We know too many secrets to come and go as we please. So... Her name's not here, huh? Let's shift our attention then. Fremine, were you able to find anything out? Fremine.
Sorry. I managed to talk to quite a few people, but I couldn't help but notice that the atmosphere...
Strange.
Yeah, I mean, I know there have been arguments in the past, times when people haven't gotten along. Chaplot and Filiol are a good example of...
Oh, those are two of the people that we met while delivering supplies.
That's to be expected, actually. Father brought us all here, shared her knowledge with us. As members of the House of the Hearth, we're also considered part of the Fatui. And to a lot of people, that's an identity they never asked for. Certain members get older and realize they want something else for themselves. But considering the rules of the House... Most people like Chaplot and Foltz are loyal to Father and her vision. They're proud to be part of the Fatui. Filiol and Nantoy, on the other hand, well, they aren't quite as enthusiastic.
These kinds of conflicts have always been there. It's not like Father is...
Well, that's true. But it just feels... I can't say for sure, but I think they've met Clairvy.
You think she's been inciting them to act out?
No, not exactly. But I wouldn't be... She's told me about it before. Experiments being run on children. People being used as pawns on the battlefield without so much as the strength to survive.
And they just believed all that? Without any evidence?
Clairvy's words probably gave them the excuse they were looking for. Whether they actually believe them to be true is secondary.
This is all because of Project Stuja, isn't it?
Whoa. Hold on a second. What's this Project Stuja all about, huh?
Sorry, but I'm not sure of the details either. I only know what Father has told us, which is that it's something the Rooster and Regrader have been working on together. Apparently, it has to do with the Fatui strategic... Because the House of the Hearth was so successful in a...
Wait, but isn't that a good thing?
Key role is just an... Father thinks so too, but she's in no position to refuse. It's just that... we'll lose a lot of members in the process. Participating in the...
Okay, super complicated top secret Fatui business aside...
External pressure has a way of exacerbating internal strife. You can't overlook the power of fear either. I thought resolving the Clairvy situation would make everything go back to normal, but it looks like things are more complicated than I thought. If we leave Filiol and the others to their own devices, sooner or later, Father will be
We can only focus on one situation at a time.
You're right. Well, it's getting late. We should head back and get some rest. Lynette, you stick with me this time. Fremine, keep a close eye on Filial and the others. Good work today, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Looking forward to an early night, but she can't sleep at all. Hey, she's even scary when she smiles. If she were to actually get angry... Ooh, you have to protect Paimon if that happens, okay, Traveler? Trust is it? Look over there! Quick, let's catch up with her before anyone sees... Over there! Oh, where is she going? Oh, if someone sees her, we're toast! Oh, look! She stopped! Clairvy! Shh! I opened the window while no one was looking. Look how pretty the outside is. If only I could have more than this. You probably think I'm being silly, huh? Please, help us get on the same page here, Clary. Sure. Although, after you hear all this, everyone in this family is nothing more than a tool. Something to be used and exploited. As long as you're useful, you get to stick around. Lose your value, and you're handed over to the doctor, experimented on, and given a fate worse than death. You're saying the knave did all that? It's just, that doesn't seem like something she would do. She's... I knew you wouldn't believe me. Everyone thinks she's a good person. They all think of her like a real mother. Mother? But she doesn't deserve that title. She's disgraced it and tarnished it. If only Perry were here, she'd understand. Perry? There's that name again. Also, Paimon's getting a strange feeling. It almost feels like she's not really here with us. Paimon can't tell if she's actually talking to us or if she's mistaken us for someone else. Well, in any case, it seems like she really needs someone to talk to. We should... She looks so young. but it seems like she's been through a lot. It's getting windy. Ooh, look at the moon. Isn't it pretty? Hey, wanna hear a secret? Perry and I promised each other that once we're older, but I can't find her. I'm worried she's also been... No, that wouldn't happen to her. She's special. I should really go talk to Mother, but we just fought. She doesn't want to see me. What should I do? Paimon really doesn't understand. Well, let's head back.
All right, looks like we're all here.
Oh? What is it?
What makes you ask that?
Well, we kinda ran into Clairview. We met the doctor back in Sumeru. He's super dangerous.
It's possible that Father and the Doctor have had certain dealings, but I don't think Father would work with him. We're not really on the same side, so there's not a lot of trust between them. I did hear, though, that when Father first became a Harbinger, the Doctor offered to work with the House of the Hearth. Father rejected most of his proposals, except for one.
Secret experiment? Could...
I don't think so.
I don't know any details about the experiment itself. The details of the experiment are confidential, but complete records are kept on all participants. I know you don't agree with some of the Fatui's methods, and I'm not asking you to.
Alright, that's good to hear at least. Clairview seems to think the Knave and the Doctor worked together to do something horrible. It's just that it doesn't seem like Clairview is lying. The easiest thing to do would be just ask the Knave directly, but Paimon doesn't.
Father didn't come back last night. She's probably still near the shore. We'll be counting on you to distract her. Lynette, you're with me. Fremine, you know what to do. All right.
Boring! Useless!
Ah, it's you two again. I must say, you look a bit pale.
A little.
Perhaps if you had less on your mind, you'd be able to absolve yourself of such troubles. So what are you planning to do now? Catch up on some sleep? Or should I give you some time to rack your brain for a topic to discuss before I ask any questions? Although I must profess to being curious. Without Child here, how do you plan on distracting me?
Us? Distract you?
Looks like you could have used some extra time to think. Don't worry. I'll be sure to steer clear of any scheming children.
The ocean breeze is sure nice today.
Children always think they can hide things from the grown-ups. But nothing gets past me. Well, I'll leave you to think things over. If you're so inclined, meet me outside the Palais Mermonia. Good things come to children who do as they're told. So I do hope you decide to tag along. If only for your friends' sakes.
What should we do? She clearly knows about everything we've been doing and... Oh, good idea. Well, we should probably head to the Palais Mermonia. Paimon doesn't want to find out what happened. Okay, then we
Seeing as we still have some time before my meeting, We might as well enjoy some pleasant conversation. I'm glad to see you get along with my children. Being surrounded by good companions is necessary for a child's development.
You're not planning on doing anything.
I assume you're referring to Lenny, Lynette, and Fremine, although there's that situation with Filial and Nentoy as well. No matter. I'm not one to discriminate. All those who betray the house meet the same fate.
Does that mean you're going to kill them?
Oh, are you here to beg for their lives? I'm sorry to disappoint, but the rules of the house change for no one. In my organization, everyone is responsible for their own actions.
But don't you care about them at all? They really respect you. They even call you father. You must—
Any organization in which feelings come before principles is one destined for ruin. The House of the Hearth is hardly an exception. You could say our principles are more stringent than— Perhaps I can offer you this consolation at least. As our guests, you two will not be held accountable along with them. I would imagine Linny, Lynette, and Fremine will be able to keep their lives. As for Filial, Nentoy, and the others, I'm afraid there's little I can do. They can— Ah, you seem concerned. Out of consideration for my guests, I suppose I could turn a blind eye for a little. If Linny and the others manage to dispose of Clairvy in the meantime, all evidence of their wrongdoing will be lost. If their efforts are unsuccessful, on the other hand, all will be held accountable. And the punishment will be severe. Of course. Oh, and here, I believe this. It takes a considerable amount of time to train a bird like this. It would be such a pity if you were to lose it.
Wait, where did you get that?
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have to chat. I asked you to meet me here because I have business at the Palais Mermonia. It has nothing to do with you, but I think it would be prudent for you to stick by my side for the time being. There will always be time later to run off and tell Linny what you've learned. Well, time to go. Looks like... It's been a while, Monsieur Neuf. I must say, I wasn't expecting my meeting request to be approved quite so...
It is only right that an esteemed diplomat such as yourself should be afforded the proper level of respect. Although, if I may speak plainly, I must confess that I did not anticipate we would have the occasion to meet again after presenting you with the Gnosis. I see you brought the Traveler and Paimon with you as well. I'll
be departing Fontaine shortly. There is, however, an outstanding matter that I would like to see resolved before It requires a rather lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. So I took the liberty of explaining everything in this...
I understand your...
I heard you have a certain fondness. A family is like a large... As someone who watches over this system, I would hope that each river that flows... Of course, objectively speaking, I know this is impossible. Most of the... Not all rivers are destined to reach the ocean.
Did you get any of that, Traveler?
Your words paint an optimistic picture indeed.
It may have been tainted at one point in time, but not to worry.
I seem to recall there being a transactional aspect to your proposal. Perhaps you could expound on that?
If you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I will gradually withdraw my forces from Fontaine. And, unless absolutely necessary, I will no longer carry out any special...
I presume I can take your words to mean that, in the future, cases similar to the Tartuffe assassination will cease to cross my desk?
Tartuffe? Ah, that thief who embezzled funds from all those charities, you mean? My deepest condolences to his family, but without any evidence, I cannot imagine how the House of... Of course, if you accept my...
You choose your words.
My thanks for your generosity, Monsieur Neuvillette. Well, with that settled, we should be going now. I took the liberty of bringing along 2 bottles of spring water from Snezhnaya for you to...
Indeed. I trust...
All right, Traveler Paimon. Time to go.
So, what exactly were you talking about back there? Paimon only heard you mention...
You really want to know? I would imagine there might be more pressing...
Winnie, Paimon really hopes everything... Oh, Paimon recognizes that look. You've got your thinking cap on, don't you?
Oh, shoot. Are you alright? Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. I was so focused on selling these papers, I wasn't looking where I was going. Well, let me make it up to you.
Oh, you don't have to give us any...
Please, I want to. It's not like I'm short on supply. It's my fault, really. I was just trying to bring home some extra mora for the family, but I bit off more than I can chew. I haven't had many takers today, so I'm still swimming in papers.
What's going on here?
Nothing much. I just ran into your friend here on accident. I should...
Hold on.
Of course, I'm happy to compensate.
I'll take 3 papers.
Oh! Thank you for your patronage. May the Archons bless... If only I had the chance to run into such generous customers every day. I should probably just take on a smaller inventory though, right? I'm getting married soon, so sometimes it's hard to not get ahead of myself.
Well, now that my affairs are settled, we should take the boat back to Poisson. We've even...
Actually, why don't... Paimon just realized how hungry she is. She can't head back to Poisson.
It appears you two are under the impression that delaying our return will somehow... That being said, I could be persuaded to give Linny some extra time. If you agree to my request, I'll even answer some of your questions. You're quite curious about Clairvy, are you not?
Wait, what?
You overestimate yourself. You don't have the talent.
Then what can...
The most important consideration in a negotiation is that both sides receive something wonderful. When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the...
Okay, sounds normal enough, but...
That is for you to decide. Then we have a deal. Follow me.
Useless. Boring.
What is this place?
Somewhere long forgotten by everyone. It used to be a grand building. Now it's nothing more than a pile of rubble. No one comes here anymore, nor does anyone care about what once happened here. Although, this place does have something to do with the story I'm about to tell you. It was before I became a Harbinger, and before Linny and the others joined the House of the Hearth. Due to certain events, I first killed Clairvy and then her mother.
You were the one that killed Clairvy?
Patience now. Allow me to explain Clairvy's side of the story first. I'll start. Clairvy was 6 years old when she was brought by her mother, Crucibina, to live in the House of the Hearth. From the outside, it seemed like a fairy tale. Crucibina was the knave at that time, and the House of the Hearth was under her control. She was Clairvy's mother by blood, but she was also the mother to all the children in the house. Clairvy was happy here, for a time. But she quickly realized that being part of this family wasn't a fairy tale at all. It was a kind of purgatory.
Purgatory?
Exactly. The House of the Hearth takes in war orphans from all over Tevat. But as for how to raise, Crucibina came up with a novel idea. She would teach the children to fight, force them to duel each other, and then crown as the king of the house the child who proved themselves most worthy of inheriting her title. It's difficult to estimate the number of children who died or were maimed in the process. There's little I can say about the ones who died. The ones that emerged with permanent injuries, on the other hand, well, they would be handed over to the doctor to be experimented on, or sent away on dangerous missions. Nothing more than tools to be used and then discarded.
So those were the experiments Clairvy was talking about. But what actually happened to her? You said that Clairvy was Crucibina's daughter, so if Clairvy tried to convince her to stop what she was doing, Crucibina probably would have listened, right?
Despite being Clairvy's mother, Crucibina cared little for her daughter. She forced Clairvy to join the House of the Hearth only as a means to demonstrate her own impartiality as a mother, to prove that she treated all her children equally. Clairvy did try to convince her mother to change her ways, but it was to no avail. After her efforts failed, the only other option was to rise up and try to fight back. Unfortunately, the other children had already been thoroughly indoctrinated into the illusion of happiness Crucibina had created. Of course, there was one exception. Someone Clairvy's age who knew the truth about the House of the Hearth. Her name was Peruere.
Wait, the friend that Clairvy...
Friend, huh? I suppose we can call her that for now. Clairvy was a cheerful and passionate person with a tenacious spirit. Peruere, on the other hand, was rather cold-blooded. Her cold-blooded nature allowed her to see through Crucibina's facade. Yet, it was also this cold-bloodedness that prevented her from acting against it. At least at first. While Clairvy longed for freedom, Peruere was convinced that, amid all the fighting and violence, she would make it until the end. Despite their differences, the two became fast friends, united by their knowledge of the truth. Clairvy told Peruere that she hoped to create a real family, where no one would be killed or sacrificed. There may have been a certain naivete to her ideas, but Clairvy proved her determination many times over. She tried countless times to run away, ask for help, or expose the truth. But her efforts only earned her beating after beating. The only thing that kept her going was her strength of will. Even with her body racked with pain, she would still stand on her tiptoes and open the window at night. She and Peruere would look out at the moon together, a fierce longing for freedom shining in her eyes. But one day that light simply vanished.
Oh no.
Her hopelessness resulted from a culmination of things. 10 years had passed. 10 years worth of failure after failure. She and Perouer weren't children anymore, but finding any chance to escape still seemed as hopeless as ever. It was during this time that Perouer suggested a new plan. If escaping was out of the question, why not take down the very person sitting on top of this throne of lies? Clairvy rejected that proposal. She claimed that, as a famous harbinger, Crucibina possessed an unimaginable amount of power. Trying to kill her would have an incredibly low chance of success. Clairvy never gave another reason, but Perouer could see it written all over her face. Clairvy still thought of Crucibina as her mother. Killing her own flesh and blood was a line she couldn't bring herself to cross. If she couldn't escape and fight back, then only one option remained. Precisely. Death was the only way that she felt she could be free. It happened during a duel. When she arrived at the dueling ring that day, her partner turned out to be none other than Perouer. The very person that had stood by her side all those years. From that moment on, Perouer's journey was one written in flames. When the rain finally came and washed it all away, there she stood, the sole victor in Mother's endless game of slaughter. A trail of corpses strewn across her path to success. It was the very result she had predicted 10 years prior. Even then, she believed she would make it until the end. She wasn't surprised by the fact that she emerged as Mother's undisputed heir. Rather, her success left her with an inexplicable sense of restlessness. She was unsettled. And there was only one thing that could quell that sensation.
Crucibina, you mean?
Correct. This is the place where Perouer killed her best friend. A mere year later, this is also the place where she fought tooth and nail to kill the mother they shared. The moment she acted, any conception of what was right or wrong ceased to matter. It's one of the principles of the house. Perouer won the battle, and became a harbinger herself. After which Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, bestowed upon her a new name. Arlecchino.
So the Perry Clairvy was talking about... It was you all along.
I left that name behind long ago. I must say, hearing it now does bring back... After I defeated Crucibina, the moniker of Mother died with her. I chose to forego the title she called herself, and even chose to give up my own name. I rebuilt the House of the Hearth under a new identity. Not only as Arlecchino, but as... And that is where the story ends.
Yeah. Based on what you just told us, Clairvy wasn't a little kid when she was killed. So...
I suppose you could call her an illusion born of flame. Her existence is like ashes to a fire. Something left over in the wake of blaze and ruin. You see, a certain power runs through my veins. It's not unlike a curse. My flames leave behind shadows of anything they consume, of course. The chances of those shadows morphing into a sentient entity are exceedingly slim. Clairvy is a very special case. Clairvy died when she was 16 years old. But what emerged from the flames was her 6-year-old self. Her appearance wasn't the only thing affected. Most of her memories were lost to the blaze as well. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self. Lose 10 years' worth, however, and it would be like living in the past. Like returning to a version of yourself that never grew up.
No wonder Paimon got such a weird feeling when we were talking to her.
Perhaps I should put it this way. Clairvy is someone trapped in time. It may seem like she exists with us in the present, but she truly lives in the confines of her own past.
So if all of that is true, then you must have known about Clairvy for a long time.
Indeed. She's a rather volatile and unstable entity. Sometimes she would look after the children. She's even saved some of their lives. But other times, she would hide from me and become obsessed with revealing the truth about the house to anyone who will listen. Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new information they encounter is quickly forgotten over time. Your attempts to expose Clairvy to sunlight, they failed, yes? The reason is actually quite simple. In Clairvy's mind, the house is impossible to escape, and it is this very perception that traps her there. But no matter. All I have to do is kill her again, and all will be resolved. I don't...
Wait! Paimon can understand why you might want her gone, but isn't there another way? So what if she's trapped in her 6-year-old self? She's still your friend! At least talk to her first!
It's too late for that. She broke the rules, and now she must be punished. That goes for Filial and Nantoy as well. She's had quite the effect on them. I hope you understand. The difference between Crucibina and myself lies in our formulation of the rules, not our policy for enforcing them.
Is this really what you want to do?
Whatever could you mean?
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Whether as a killer or as a father, there are two things that must be avoided at all costs. Anger makes you impulsive. Well, it appears it's about time to proceed. Before we arrived, I told some of my well-behaved children to bring our troublemakers here by nightfall. I do believe I've kept my end of the deal.
Here they are, Father.
Oh, you gonna execute him?
Lenny!
I'm sorry, but I still failed. I couldn't find a way.
Huh? Are you...
Indeed, it's been a while, Clairvy.
Harry!
Shh. Stay right there. I'm sorry to postpone our reunion, but first, I believe certain scores need settling.
Father, let me explain.
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that, you must be punished. Overall, however, I suppose your wrongdoing is hardly the most egregious of the bunch, so I'll deal with your punishments later.
By traitors? Do you mean—
Father, let me explain. We didn't mean to—
Fultz, why don't you share what—
Yes, Father. Secret Midnight Meeting number 3. Participants, Filial, Nantoy, Sato, Toddy. Nantoy clearly said. Sato added, Filial was the worst of them all.
I did not! You're lying!
It's not like I'm the— We're birds locked in a cage!
You little— You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you? And you, Sheplo? Have you
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to die.
Liar.
We all live in that. A single betrayal can cost. That's why the House of the Hearth cannot tolerate any form of betrayal. Ever since we came to Poisson, you've had 7 secret meetings. A lot of the things you talked about really crossed the line.
You've been spying on us?
Filial, Nan, I owe you both my life. If this were any other situation—
Why?
That's enough, Filial. I'm sorry, Sheplo.
Sheplo, according to the rules of the House of the—
All those who betray the house.
And so it shall be.
Father, please wait!
Something you want to say, Linny?
Please reconsider, Father. We all come from broken faith, but the truth is, none of us know what a real home should look like. I'm not saying I have all the answers, so please, Father.
I agree with Linny.
Father, please.
Linny, you...
I also agree with Lin.
An order once... However...
Our weapon...
Father, are you referring to a
Precisely. However, resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me. Demonstrate a sufficient...
Impossible.
Did you hear that, Traveler? Lenny and the others have to duel the knave. What should we do? If they lose, those people from the house are really gonna be executed. Hey!
Don't you want to say a proper good...
Anger makes you impulsive. Sorry.
Oh. Looking at that expression on her face, she seems really serious about this.
When guests are around, families are often on their best.
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help.
What's wrong? Traveler? Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
You're asking to join the duel against the knave?
I'll allow it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less. And...
Disappear! Here! Worthless!
Is it my turn now?
Shine down! Now's our chance!
Inazuma shines eternal!
Gather! I will have order!
With these rising flames! Now that's more like it. Is it my turn now?
Solidify!
There is no escape!
Is it my turn now?
Look out!
With these rising flames!
Illusion shattered!
Evil conquering!
Is it my turn now? With the fall of darkness, destruction shall rise.
Now's our chance!
Have a taste of purity.
Now you shall perish!
Stabilize!
Spare your energy. Running is a blur.
Are you alright?
With these rising flames,
Shine down!
Solidify!
look at me. Trapped like a bunch of helpless animals.
Get in gear! Gather! This is order!
Is it my turn now? Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Watch out for Father's movements! Disappear! Useless! Worthless! Here!
Hang in there!
Gather!
How amusing.
Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion shattered!
Is it my turn?
Look out!
Solidify! Order guide you!
Is it my turn now?
Now's our chance!
Not bad. You've proven to be a worthy opponent.
Stabilize!
With these rising flames!
Are you alright?
Is it my turn?
Oh.
Who's next?
There is no escape! Torn to oblivion!
Quake! Gather!
Shine down! Seize the skies!
Now's our chance!
Over here!
Your punishment made manifest.
Solidify! I will have order!
Illusion shattered! Ha!
Watch out for Father's movements!
Look out! Sun and moon have set. Only ruin remains. You struggle in vain.
There is no escape!
Boring.
Now's our chance!
Over here! Shine down!
Watch out for Father's movements! Look out!
You should know better than to crowd in one place.
I'm sorry, Father!
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack.
Father, no!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
A crimson moon. I can't move.
Still, not strong enough to beat me. It's here. It's not often that we get to enjoy the company of guests, after all. We wouldn't want things to get too out of hand.
Brother!
Lenny! Given that I am the victor of this duel.
No!
I never thought things would end like...
However, everyone involved in the duel demonstrated a remarkable level of strength and determination. In light of this, I'm prepared to change the method. Elwar, the bottled flames I gave you for safekeeping.
Yes? I wasn't sure what they were for.
Wonderful. Then, in just a moment, I'll have you
Bottled flame?
Indeed. They're the product of a secret experiment, once ingested. If you can withstand, in other words, administering this can... Memory is a mysterious thing indeed.
So, you're just...
You misunderstand. Memories are extremely important. Once consumed by flame, the version of you standing before me will die.
Even so, I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry I let you down. But I really...
Don't cry, Phil. You haven't left the house yet, so there are still rules to be followed, yes? Remember what I taught you. Anger makes you impulsive, sorrow causes you to waver.
Of course.
Dry your tears, and go pursue the life you really want.
Yes, Father.
Chaplot, Foltz, Elwar. Take them back to Poisson. I prepared 3 extra vials of bottled flames. Goodbye, children. Thank you for...
Father.
Let's go.
Here, grab my arm, Lenny.
Thank you.
Clairvy.
Can we talk now? I've been waiting for a super... You really are Perry, aren't you? Wait, did I somehow travel to the future on accident? Or am I dreaming?
Neither. You died, Clairvy. That's what happened.
You could have at least sugarcoated it a little! Look, she's done speechless! Oh, huh? That's it? Yep. If that's what Perry says happened. Plus, I don't really need to know why I'm like this. I'm more curious about what happens in the future. If you're a harbinger now, Perry, that means Mother... Can you tell me about it? I want to know what happened to her.
You never stopped trying. At first, no one believed you. Later on, you never gave up. But you called on everyone to unite. To fight. You tried everything for the last 16 years of...
I never imagined I would say something like that. I must have been feeling really worn down. But somehow, I still think I understand. If I could do it all...
Is that so? But as the head of... It's something I discussed. Of course, I won't...
That's more than... You know, Perry? I think you're a pretty amazing king. And I'm really happy that you're the one who took over the house. I guess I do have one regret, though. I still haven't seen the outside world.
Well, it just so happens that our dear guests over here have been to many nations and traveled to countless places.
Really? Of course! We've traveled... You know, I used to dream of being a buck playing the lute while singing into the wind. Ah, that's where Mora comes. If I had some Mora, I would buy 3 new dresses. It's just too bad Perry doesn't like wearing dresses. And Mother? She probably wouldn't accept something like that either. Those yokai you mentioned. I once saw a drawing of this one guy with horns on his head and a super scary face. Oh, sounds like you're talking about an Oni. Yep, we've met one, and let Paimon tell you, they're not nearly as scary as they look. I was always too afraid to skip Mother's fighting lesson, but at the academia, I bet you could do all sorts of secret things and... I'm just kidding. The situation was super dangerous. Lenny and Lynette were accused of committing a crime. Oh no, that must have been... Don't worry, we were able to turn the situation around super quick. How'd you do that? Come on, tell me. Okay, so it was like this. After the failed magic show, we rushed to the scene and...
Sorry, I'm just plugging in my phone.
Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Clairvy, you've worked tirelessly from the shadows to overthrow the House of the Hearth. Now, by my authority as the Knave, I shall announce how this matter ends. You are hereby expelled from the House of the Hearth. You are no longer tied to this place, nor are you bound by its rules.
You're saying that I can finally leave? I get to experience the outside world as well? Oh, I almost forgot. There's no getting older for me. Still, seeing who you grew up to be makes me really happy, Paraware. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
May we meet again someday.
Clairvy. She left so soon. Paimon did.
I also have certain sentiments left unsaid. I wanted to tell her that the aurora I saw in Snezhnaya was just as beautiful as the ones in the pictures. But a shadow's memories reset at dawn. Had we delayed any longer, we wouldn't have had the time to say goodbye. Whatever regrets may linger, let them be lost to the coming of a new day.
Father?
It's Linny! Hey, Linny! What is he doing back here? Let's...
Father, the bottled flames have been administered. Filio and the others have left the house.
And you? What?
Thank you for Lynette and Fremine feel the same way.
I'm sure you're well aware of the expectations I have for you. I want you to follow in my footsteps and become the next... I must admit, I'm rather surprised by your decision to You're brave, talented, and most of you would do anything to
Speaking up back there was so brave of you, Linny. It's all thanks to you that we were able to convince...
You're a hero, Linny.
Hero? Father is the real hero. Had Father gone all out during the duel, there's no way I would have walked away with my life. I'm not deserving of that title.
You're wrong. In my opinion, all you need to be deserving of the throne is we may have different ideas, even without that strength.
Father.
No one knows what if reaching a certain strength may decide the ultimate victor, but those who let a lack of strength dictate their decisions or undermine their conviction.
I understand, Father.
Children must grow. The road ahead is not an...
You've done so much for me, Father. Protecting my family at all costs.
Then you're welcome to stay. As for Project Stuja, having members who longed for the light was our organization's last weakness. With those members no longer among our ranks, the House of the Hearth is like a spot at present. Our imperative is to use their plan to our advantage. In doing so, a crimson moon shall rise amid the frigid blizzards of winter. No demonstration of loyalty shall go unrewarded. As for the two of you, whether we meet again no matter how arduous the journey ahead, I hope we both reach our desired destination.
Didn't Linny say that Lynette and Fremine were recovering? Lynette? Fremine? How are you feeling?
Much better. What about you? Are you feeling alright?
I knew you'd come out unscathed. Us, on the other hand, well, we've been bedridden for 2 days. I couldn't even turn over. Oh, and I wanted to ask, Is Clairvy... Linny and the other members have left Poisson and returned to the House of the Hearth. According to him, there haven't been any more sightings of a spirit roaming the house.
I see.
I'm glad. Father came to check up on us 2 days ago and told us about what happened with Crucibina and Clairvy. Actually,
Wait, what?
Crucibina died a year after Clairvy. It was during the year between their deaths that I joined the House of the Hearth. Crucibina had an extremely cruel and radical way of doing things. While she was alive, the atmosphere in the house was suffocating. When I joined, though, the experiment she valued so much had already come to an end, and all the people involved, dead and injured alike, were gone. Crucibina never talked about the past with us newcomers. A couple of months after I joined, Father killed Crucibina and burned all her files. With that, the names of all the people subjected to her experiments, Clairvy included, were lost to the flames.
Father took in Lenny and me a couple months after that, but she never mentioned anything about Crucibina or Clairvy.
It really seems like something she was planning to keep to herself. The last time you talked to her, did she mention why she kept it a secret for—
She said she didn't want us to be affected by the darkness of the past. She was worried we'd develop a false sense of gratitude towards her if we knew the foundation of a family should be free, and that's what Father told us.
But I still thanked her for everything. It was only after hearing about what Crucibina did that I finally realized how insignificant our lives could have been. The members of the house meant nothing to her. If Father hadn't taken over the House of the Hearth, I probably would have already...
Father rarely brings up the fact that she saved us. She doesn't, but even if we may have arguments or...
Whether the path before us is bathed in sunlight or shrouded in shadow, we'll follow Father wherever. So I wanted to...
Oh, we didn't do anything, really.
Of course.
I actually saw them at a... They didn't recognize me. From what I could tell, they were drinking coffee and talking about one of the operas that started running recently. They seemed happy. If I had to take a guess, I would say they finally found the kind of life they always wished for.